Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas GK. Viewers, what began as an ordinary operation to douse a fire at a judge's house has opened a can of worms. On the 14th of March, the family of Justice Verma raised an alarm over a fire. What they found instead was wads and wads of cash. The police stepped in and the Collegium was informed of unaccounted money. But how much cash exactly was recovered, if at all? Let's tell you what really happened on the night of Holi. Times Now has learned that the judge's family called the Tughlaq Road police station on 14th March and reported a fire. The police reached the storeroom in the outhouse where they found sacks of burnt notes. Sources reveal that no less than 50 crores were found in these sacks. Then there were mobile videos of sacks and burnt notes that were sent to top cops as well. Simultaneously, the fire services arrived and doused the fire. The police informed the topmost levels of government, following which the Collegium was involved. So far, no decision has been taken on his transfer, despite sources saying that cash to the tune of 50 crores was found in the burning outhouse. Today, legal eagles are calling for action as they say that this is a trial for the entire judicial system.
एक सामान्य कर्मचारी के घर पे 15 लाख रुपया मिलता है तो उसको जेल भेजते हैं। एक जज के घर पे 15 करोड़ रुपया कैश मिल रहा है, उसको घर वापसी का इनाम दिया जा रहा है। क्या हाईकोर्ट, इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट क्या डस्टबिन है, कचरा बिन है?
Normally, no judge keeps cash because his salary is transferred directly to bank. If massive cash recovery is done, then there is a presumption that the judge has been thoroughly corrupt. Supreme Court should scrutinize all his judgments given in Delhi. The judiciary is known in our country to be a corrupt judiciary, inefficient judiciary, incapable judiciary. Only rich people are able to approach, you see, High Court and Supreme Court.
There should be a corrective measure taken immediately so that it doesn't recur. After all, it is the litigant who comes to the court. If his faith is shaken in the judicial system by the incidents as reported in the news today, the judicial system will collapse.
Amidst the mounting criticism, the Supreme Court issued a statement where it has stated that an in-house inquiry led by the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court is underway. Moreover, the Supreme Court also assured that the Collegium is examining a proposal to transfer the judge, but it has nothing to do with the in-house inquiry procedure. This issue has come to a head in Parliament as well, with parliamentarians appealing for strict action to be taken to ensure the sanctity of the judiciary is not compromised.
The issue of corruption within the judiciary is a very serious issue, and this is not something that has been articulated by senior counsel and lawyers in this country. So I think that it's time for the Supreme Court to start looking at issues of how the appointment process should take place, that it should be more transparent, appointments should be more carefully done.
The judicial corruption and judiciary is a very dangerous thing. The poor people believes that judiciary will give them justice, but this kind of corrupt practices, money in judges' houses is very, very serious thing. Hope the honorable judges takes it seriously and act upon it.
मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहता हूँ, अगर अनअकाउंटेड कैश मिला है तो ट्रांसफर पनिशमेंट नहीं है ना, संदेश तो अच्छा नहीं जाता है ना। इतनी बड़ी मात्रा में कैश कहाँ से आया? अब तो उनके सारे जजमेंट देखने होंगे अगर उस कैश के पीछे सच्चाई है। कहीं जजमेंट से तो उसका ताल्लुक नहीं। ये बहुत चिंताजनक परिस्थिति।
Here's Times Now's access the sequence of events that took place that evening. Top sources telling Times Now that some cash notes were in jute bags were also partially burnt when the fire broke out. But the staff present at the judge's house said that they were just court documents. They also told that no official record of the seizure was made, but there were videos recorded and passed on to the Chief Justice of India, who's then ordered an inquiry into this entire matter. Let's come across to Bhavtosh Singh. Priyank Tripathi also joining us on the broadcast. Bhavtosh, this is a massive development that you're breaking for us, that there were sacks of these currency notes. The staff insisting that this was just stationery, but the videos that were passed on to the higher police authorities, which then made its way to the judiciary.
Yes, Madhav, what exactly happened is that PCR or the fire tenders reached there at around 11:43 p.m. on 14th of March. And as soon as they went to the storeroom, they found jute sacks. Now, the jute sacks had allegedly had cash notes, and they were partially burnt, and they were strewn across the storeroom. And looking at them, one of the court staff reached there, and he claimed, this is his claim, that these are court documents, and these are court documents and court records, and these are not cash notes. Now, what exactly happens is that at any spot where the fire has broken out, the fire department officials make videos. These videos were then, in fact, taken over by the senior police officers, and then the Commissioner of the Delhi Police informed the government. Some of these videos have been shown to the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna. It was at that point of time that Sanjeev Khanna decided that an inquiry commission or an inquiry would be carried out, and that is the sequence of event. Now, what we have gathered is that no FIR has been filed, primarily because of the fact that no one has been injured in this. Now, those who had made these videos, many of those who had made these videos, they were also surprised with the seizure, with the cash that they saw. They have been told to delete the video. Only one or two individuals, the topmost in the judiciary and in the government, have those videos. They are the ones who have the videos. Rest,
all right, Bhaskar, stay with us. This quickly, in fact, before I go across to Priyank, in fact, Times Now has also spoken to the chief of the Delhi Fire Services, who added a fresh twist because he claims that there was no cash that was seized or any other unnatural occurrence when they were at the judge's residence. Listen in.
There's a query which is coming up in social media also, and we want to know what exactly was found when the fire department officials reached to this location.
See, as per the record of level, fire was in a storeroom, 2 fire tenders were sent, fire was very, very small, fire was extinguished within a minute, and nothing was unusual reported by the team of
Priyank, this is absolutely bizarre, a new twist, because the fire department chief says that there was no cash found. Then what is this entire controversy about?
See, Madhav, there's irony is that the fire department official is talking to all the media organization to pull down this interview because he fears that his job will be taken away. That is the latest development which we can tell you to our viewers. So anyone who's coming out and talking about the incident is being targeted is certainly very worrying, which is coming up in this case. The judge of the Delhi High Court certainly has been shifted from Delhi to Allahabad, but someone who's the only person who has spoken about in detail regarding the incident, which is Atul Garg, he fears that he will be targeted very soon because there's an immense amount of pressure which is being built up on him. But the fact of the matter is that Delhi Fire Services could not investigate the case. It should have been investigated by the Delhi Police. And the Delhi Police senior official says that they could not have investigated a case against the sitting judge till the time they would have got a permission from the CJI's office. So why the whole system is trying to protect and trying to hide this particular information of
We'll have to leave it there. Bhavtosh as well as Priyank, like to thank both of you for joining us with those breaking inputs. Let's open this up and take it across to our guests. With us at the moment is Justice S.N. Dhingra. He's a retired judge of the Delhi High Court. We have Indra Jaisingh, senior advocate of Supreme Court. With us also is Satish Manishinde, senior advocate. And joining us also is Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate. Let me start with you first, Indra Jaisingh. And let me start, with how you have in the past advocated for full disclosure as far as the judiciary is concerned, particularly as far as the collegium is concerned. Do you think this lack of transparency, particularly in the given case, raises some serious concerns?
The facts relating to this individual case need to be put on the record as soon as possible, both by the Collegium of the High Court of Delhi as well as the Collegium of the Supreme Court of India, because they're both vitally concerned with what is happening. Any allegation of corruption in the judiciary is a matter of concern for the whole nation. And therefore, the least that we are owed by the judiciary is a full, free and frank disclosure of what actually happened. Number one, was cash recovered or was it not recovered from the residence of a sitting judge? Number two, what was the amount of cash recovered? Number three, what started the fire? I am very concerned about that. How did this fire begin? Has an FIR been lodged into an investigation of how this fire began? And what is the answer to that question? It doesn't seem to be a small fire. It was quite a fire which required at least five fire brigade water tenders. So what was the fire all about? And why is there no statement by Delhi police? So this is not just a question of transparency by the Collegium alone. It's also a question of transparency by the police. Unless the facts are on the table, it's going to be very difficult to comment one way or the other. But a duty of transparency, frankness is owed to the nation by the judiciary of this country.
Justice Dhingra, given the fact that there are allegations against a sitting judge of the Delhi High Court of cash being found at the residence, what do you think is the impact of such a situation, particularly as far as the public's trust in the judiciary is concerned?
I think the people's assessment about public trust after the incident is being wrongly presented and projected. People did not have trust in judiciary from last many years. They have seen judiciary corruption day out and day night. The judges treat themselves as gods. They do not follow any law. They can call any case to their bench and decide it. And that is why you see, the rich people, they can approach any judge at midnight. The common man is, cases are not taken. So judiciary's image with the common man is already shattered. I don't know which image you are talking that it has been shattered. This is not first case. There have been many cases of corruption earlier also. Justice Shamit Mukherjee case is known to everybody. Justice Nirmala Yadav case is known to everybody. And there are many cases.
Let me take that question across to Sanjay Hegde. Sanjay Hegde, do you share that perception? There have been cases of corruption that have come out in the public domain, and the justice is of the view that the image of the judiciary has already taken quite a beating in the past. How do you look at this entire issue? Sanjay Hegde.
Well, the image of the judiciary has taken beatings from time to time for various events, but the judiciary has also redeemed itself from time to time. So I would not take one judge as being symptomatic of the judiciary. As far as this particular judge is concerned, I have known him to be a very good judge in court, somebody who reads well, who writes well, who listens well. And even in common courtroom gossip, there was nothing known about this person having been more than anything but an honest judge. Of course, this incident which has come, of which the Collegium took note, we really do not know how the story is developing. It now is evident that no cash was seized by any institution. There was a fire, it is undeniable. But what got burnt, and can you definitively say from the video that it was only cash that got burnt? None of us has the video. These are things which need to be investigated.
Absolutely. These are questions.
Just one more thing.
Yeah, complete your point.
How logical do you think that a judge would keep lots of cash in sacks in a storeroom next to the house and then go away?
Okay. No,
I think I don't want to rush to judgment one way or the other, but this certainly requires careful investigation, plus transparency to the maximum extent possible.
Right. Satish Manishinde, there are questions about the circumstances. That's something that perhaps everyone is saying. There needs to be more transparency is perhaps something that everyone's saying here as well. But there are questions about the circumstances. For instance, if I can take further the logic that Sanjay Hegde is offering, perhaps, who knows, could this have been some kind of attempt at fixing or framing the judge also? Is that also a possibility that could be there, Satish Maneshinde?
Well, I'm not sure of anything of this nature, and this is too far-fetched. But since yesterday, I've been seeing a lot of comments made by senior lawyers practicing in the Supreme Court, who are particularly quite harsh in making comments about incidents in life. But most of them have become defensive. I'm not sure why this is happening. The fire officer as well as the police officer have also become defensive to say that nothing was recovered or nothing untoward had happened. There is smoke. There can't be smoke without fire. So the Supreme Court Collegium apparently sat on Thursday and examined the issue and transferred the judge out of Delhi to Allahabad. He was transferred from Allahabad to Delhi, and you know that a large number of people were wondering why he was transferred from Allahabad. After he is transferred to Delhi, if these things are coming up and these allegations are being made, it's a very serious matter to be considered. Apart from all this, I would say that had it been a common man who was found with this kind of an allegation, I'm not saying cash, I'm saying an allegation, he would have been investigated and paraded before the police authorities long time back. Any public servant, any secretary or any minister has faced these kind of situations. Even people who are holding high offices have been prosecuted. However high you are not above the law. The protection to these judges which have been given by the Veeraswamy judgment needs to be overlooked, relooked. And then I think some new mechanism has to be brought in, because we hear there are a lot of allegations against judges in relation to corruption. Mr. Hegde also says that there are things that we hear in the corridors of the court. But however innocent the judge may be from what Mr. Hegde has heard, I am sure there can't be smoke without fire. And this is a serious case where the Supreme Court should not only rest by transferring the judge or impeaching him if the allegations are found correct.
Okay.
He must be prosecuted under the Prevention of Corruption Act, and no protection should be given to such persons in future.
Right. Let me also bring in fact, Indra Jaising on a very important point. Ma'am, we've seen the statement that's come out of the Supreme Court today, and the Supreme Court has sought to distinguish between the case that is being inquired by the Delhi High Court Chief Justice, the inquiry in that particular matter, and the transfer of the judge to the Allahabad High Court. I'm just quoting from the statement of the Supreme Court. The proposal for transfer of Mr. Justice Yashwant Verma is independent and separate from the in-house inquiry procedure. How do you view this attempt at distancing from the two matters or the two aspects of the same case?
It's a statement without a statement as far as I'm concerned. I don't know why that statement was put out. If it is misinformation, answer the question. Was cash recovered or not? How much cash was recovered? How did the fire take place? If there is misinformation on these three issues, we are all willing to stand corrected. If there was no cash recovered, it's fine. We owe an apology to the judge concerned. If there was no fire, again, we are misinformed. What exactly are we misinformed about? And that's why I say this is a statement without a statement.
Justice Dhingra, how do you view the distancing that has been done? Two separate matters is being stated that the transfer of the judge to the Allahabad High Court does not have anything to do with the inquiry being conducted by the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court. How do you view this, Justice Dhingra?
You see, this is very strange. That who knows when this proposal had come before Supreme Court? This is something which Supreme Court is telling you now. That after the discovery of this huge amount of cash, so see, nobody knows how much is the amount, that Supreme Court thinks of acting on the proposal. In fact, if there was such a proposal, Supreme Court should have stayed the proposal and first taken action. The action could have been taken even when he was Delhi High Court judge. Why he should be transferred to Allahabad High Court? When this much recovery has been made, investigation has to be done by Delhi, by Delhi police. The cases which he decided were of Delhi, instead of holding the transfer and taking action, if you are acting on the earlier proposal, I think this itself is improper.
Sanjay Hegde, how do you view this attempt or the statement of the Supreme Court that's come out this evening? Because the court says that there are two matters which are quite different. We do know that the judge did go to the Supreme Court this morning, and we also know that the Chief Justice's bench sat a lot later than it normally does, beyond 10:30. How are you looking at all of these developments?
Well, the way I look at it is that I think a formal statement from the court exactly as to what the facts are, or what the facts known till date are, has to come out. Because otherwise everybody is in the realm of speculation. Everybody is also in the realm of what I call premature adjudication. The point is that there may have been a separate process altogether as far as transfer is concerned. Maybe the judge concerned had asked for a transfer back to his home court sometime earlier. They were considering it, and then all these reports came out that he had in fact been transferred. Now the Supreme Court tells us, no, we were only considering the transfer. We have not yet ordered any transfer, and that is separate and unconnected. The crucial question again comes back to the fire and what was it that was found burning. Is there a witness who says that there was cash? And if so, it's obvious that now that there has been no seizure, what kind of estimate? If there was cash, has an explanation been sought? And what is that explanation satisfactory?
Okay.
Because let's put it this way: a certain amount of cash in our houses, maybe for buying something expensive, no, that doesn't result. If it is a huge amount of cash, then obviously there is something which has to be thoroughly investigated.
Absolutely. The allegation here is 15 crores, 50 crores, there are all sorts of reports.
These are all speculations. We do not know. That is why you need
Sure, certainly. I'm not denying that. Of course, the courts must come clean, and that's exactly why that question is being asked. But Indra Jaising, let me ask you, would you at this point of time support the demand for, or would you say that this is a fit case for an independent agency to be inquiring the matter, particularly given the grave charges of corruption that are being spoken about?
Well, I can't answer that question except that I can let you know that there are provisions in law which would enable such an inquiry. So,
okay.
The sooner we hear from the Collegium what we are misinformed about, the better I'll be able to answer that question for you.
All right. Justice Dhingra, you have been quoted as saying that the Supreme Court and police should have disclosed how much money was discovered. After this disclosure, Supreme Court should have ordered a registration of an FIR, and after this, an in-house inquiry should have been ordered, following which impeachment proceedings should have been recommended to the Parliament. Do you feel that the proper course of action has not been followed? And what is the kind of precedent that such actions set? Justice Dhingra.
You see, first this incident is of 14th. Cash was recovered on 14th. The entire media learnt about this, I think, yesterday only. Why this? For 6 days, this case was kept under wraps. The amount has still not been disclosed. Somebody is saying 15 crore and somebody is saying 50 crore. Nobody knows how much amount was recovered from the house. And you see, why immediate action was not taken by Supreme Court? Was this case not that important that Chief Justice should have immediately called its colleagues and taken a decision right on 14th or 15th that the FIR should have been registered of recovery of cash, disproportionate assets, and investigation should have been started immediately. Thereafter, whatever internal inquiry Supreme Court wanted to conduct, Supreme Court should have conducted. This is how the common man and other public servants are treated. Why this, you see, special concession for those figures who are, you see, prone to corruption. Judges are prone to corruption. And they, for deciding cases, can always get corrupted. So why this special treatment to the judges, that their case will be first not opened up after 6 months, and full facts would not be disclosed, and immediate lodging of FIR, disclosing all facts to the people and public will not be done, and in-house inquiry will be ordered, and thereafter the disclosure will come before the people what happened.
Sanjay Hegde, is that a fair question? Why should there be special treatment for judges? Why should the law that applies to the common man not be applied, say, both Justice Dhingra as well as Satish Manishinde?
Well, the answer is very simple. If you allow no insulation between the judiciary and the rest, then what will happen is that whenever there is a very sensitive case, it is quite likely that one or the other judges, there can be allegations against them, there can be inquiries, and all kinds of things will happen. So therefore, the independence of the judiciary requires a certain amount of distance. If you are going to investigate a judge, please take the permission of the Chief Justice, and that's what the Veeraswamy judgment held. Even in the case of a district district judge in Gujarat, in Nadia, when I started practice way back in the 1990s, the policeman just caught him on a prohibition charge and put him inside the lockup. That led to several problems because there had been a history of animosity or judicial orders being seen askance by the police of that day. Right. It was in the context of all that these protections were devised.
Okay.
Maybe they need to be revised to some extent, but this particular incident needs a full, transparent inquiry, which is speedy.
Right. Right. Let me put that last question to Indra Jaising. Indra Jaising, what needs to be done to restore the faith as far as the judiciary is concerned?
A statement by the two collegiums. Was money recovered or not? How much money was recovered? How did it get there? Who started the fire? Is any FIR lodged? That is what will restore confidence in the general public.
All right. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us, Justice Dhingra as well as Indra Jaising, Satish Manishinde, Sanjay Hegde. Thank you so much for joining us, and perhaps all eyes will be on the courts and what really will come out as far as that particular High Court Chief Justice report is concerned. What action will be taken by the Supreme Court also remains to be seen. Thanks so much for joining us on this debate. We're going to slip into a very quick break, but more news, more discussions on the other side.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.